You are entering the vicinity of an area adjacent to a location, the kind of place where there might be something terrifying, something weird. They're just examples. It could also be something much better. Prepare to enter the Canuckle Zone.
Welcome, everybody. How are you all doing today? Good to see you all. We're back again with another wonderful episode for you today. I figured I was throwing hatchets on Twitter, so I figured I may as well just keep in the theme. Keep with Bunny Mom as my picture. It's gonna be one of these streams. Hello, Stacy Daleman. Hello, Blaze Firestorm. Gav, Demon Wolf. Hello, Roxas. Oathkeith Roxas. Lez. See you all here. Good to see you all. Good to see you all today. Boy, do we have a show. Boy, do we have a show. We're going to talk about a few things today. We're gonna kick off today's show because this has been brewing for just the past couple of days. This is nice and fresh right off the press. Hello, Catnip Dave. We're gonna talk a little bit to start the show, and we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of it once everyone rolls in here. Hello, Haven Lane. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're gonna meat and potatoes of it in just a little bit here, but we're gonna start the show talking about a little bit about the wrestling debacle that's going on, and then we're gonna go into some stupidity that we're seeing on Twitter, because that's gonna grease things up here. It's gonna grease things up here. So fresh you can smell it, absolutely. And then we're gonna talk our main event today. Our main event. Today, we're gonna promo this right now. We're gonna cut a shoot promo of this right now. Our main event for the day. We're gonna talk about the trial that never was. Well, the trial that's still going to be, actually. The trial that still will be. I know that people are really disappointed that the preliminary hearing didn't happen yesterday. Myself included. I honestly would love to see anything at all from this stupidity. What time is it in Finland? It's shitting time. That's what it is. It's pants shitting time. No, it's funny because like I wanted to see what her argument was going to be here. Were all your marks exactly, Catnip Dave? Exactly. Impact Wrestling is dumb. I agree, Randy. We're gonna get into that in a minute. That's gonna what we're gonna start with that today. But our main event for the day. There's a group of people. There's a group of people that really don't want us talking about this, and it's so funny to talk about it because it just makes them mad. It makes them mad. So we're going to talk about the reasons why. The potential reasons why one would waive their preliminary hearing. Yeah, the Aces and Eights storyline was amazing. Yeah, it was great. We're going to talk about why someone would waive their preliminary hearing in a criminal proceeding. Because this is in criminal court. This is a criminal charge for our good friend Queenie. Our good friend Queenie is up for a criminal misdemeanor, so she is in a criminal court defending herself. This will result in her getting a criminal record if this goes through, by the way. So why would somebody waive their right to a preliminary trial? So basically we're going to get into all these details later. And why is it rescheduled until December, and on December 16th? So December 16th is the next trial date. We're going to talk about what that is going to be. And we're going to talk about why there's a bunch of fat neck idiots on Twitter that are really, really mad that I'm talking about this. And they're so threatened that they've spent the past 2 days creating a new account and spewing garbage all over Twitter to get my attention because they really, really want my attention. And I hope you're watching. What happened? We're going to get into that. Gav. So Quentin's stalker ex-girlfriend. Quentin's stalker / ex-girlfriend, months ago, almost a year ago at this point, basically, it was this year, got a court order of protection put against her. So she was not allowed to contact, she was not allowed to speak about, she was not allowed to harass or anything like that Quentin Flynn or anyone associated with Quentin Flynn. She was not allowed to basically continue her stalking and harassment and attacks against him. And she violated her court order. Hello, Samantha. They can't decide if they love you or hate you. So she violated her court order, which landed her a criminal charge, a criminal misdemeanor of invasion of privacy. This is a Class A misdemeanor in Indiana. It carries up to, I believe, up to 1 or 2 years in prison with a hefty fine and a criminal record that follows you around. So she was due, or encourage harassment, exactly. She was not, in the loosest sense of the word, to be involved. So she was due to be in court for her preliminary hearing on September 17th, which was yesterday. September 17th, which was yesterday. We're about at the year mark of where the harassment began. So it's about the anniversary date of when the harassment started. But she was due in court yesterday for a preliminary hearing. Now, again, we're going to get into more detail on this later. The preliminary hearing is usually when you summon people to court, summon the accused, or the criminal in this case, and let them know what they've been charged with, and see if and they review the evidence, and then they raise any objections. If they have objections to the evidence there, blah 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 blah. However, our good friend Chrissy waited until September 16th, until the deadline, basically the court deadline, September 16th, to file a waiver, waiver request of the preliminary hearing, which means we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We're going to get into that a little bit later. So stay around for that teaser. We're gonna talk about what that means, and we're gonna talk about why that happened and what to expect. So stay tuned. It's gonna be real fun. We're gonna talk, and we're gonna review some very, very smart individuals. Absolutely 2 million IQ people on Twitter discussing it too. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about all of this stuff. No, the People's Court / Judge Judy was the order of protection hearing. Yeah, clearly psycho ex-girlfriend did nothing wrong. Hello, Ken. How are you doing? So, yeah, the People's Court was literally the protection order hearing, because that actually, the transcript read like an episode of the People's Court. Not gonna lie. You could literally get paid actors to go into Judge Judy, and they could recreate that situation word for word, and you would not be able to tell a difference. You would not be able to tell it. You would swear that was just made up for TV, but it's actually not. It actually happened. But we're gonna kick off the show by talking about something similar in absolute lunacy and ridiculousness. And fun. I haven't heard back yet. I did reach out. I did reach out to Tommy Dreamer, because I found some sort of contact information for something that's connected to him that he owns, that he regularly frequents. I haven't heard anything back yet to this point. I doubt I will. But he's got really nothing to lose at this point. So why the hell wouldn't he talk to somebody, like some random on the internet? But I did reach out to him about this. Hopefully, I'll keep you guys in the know if I hear anything. I probably won't. But we're going to talk a little bit about this today, and how absolutely asinine and ridiculously stupid It is that the internet mob is calling for Tommy Dreamer to be canceled and deleted off the internet because of his views and opinions that he was asked to give on a recent interview. So, for those of you who don't know, there's a show, there's a I don't know if it's a web show or a TV show on Vox or Variety or whatever, the same garbage, called Dark Side of the Ring. And they go into some of wrestling's biggest scandals and some of wrestling's biggest issues. And this particular episode 3 of this season, went into the quote-unquote infamous plane ride from hell. Now, this was back in the Attitude Era of World Wrestling Federation. I don't know if they actually changed it from WWF to WWE at that point, but it was around that time when they were forced to rebrand. And this was just a few months, likely actually, what kicked off Curt Hennig offing himself. It is very likely the cause. Vice, yeah. It is very likely the cause of what set Curt Hennig off on the path of suicide. Was because after this plane ride from hell, a number of wrestlers got fired, including Scott Hall and Curt Hennig. And that was. I mean, Curt didn't really do anything wrong in that situation either. He wasn't the worst person on that plane. All he did was smash shaving cream over Brock Lesnar's head, and they got into a fight on the plane. Mr. Perfect, yeah. Mr. Perfect. So, it was very interesting, because I watched the episode. And all of the accusations and stuff, none of it surprised me. Which, I mean, like, anyone that's surprised about the stuff that came out from that story, give your fucking head a shake. Either you've literally never watched wrestling in your fucking life, or like you are the most sheltered fucking person to literally ever walk the earth. To think that wrestlers in the 80s and 90s didn't do drugs, didn't get drunk, didn't, have groupies and slay every freaking woman that they had possibly had in the locker room, and and these people were willingly doing it. It's like it's mind-boggling. Like, why do you think that people would gravitate to that industry? First of all, because they got paid $50 a show? No, they gravitated to that industry because it was full of like ridiculous Wild West debauchery. Of course they went there. So the fact that Ric Flair, Predators, the fact that Ric Flair was literally the biggest ladies' man, well known to literally anyone who has ever watched a single wrestling program. Shocker. The man, because I've heard stories. Fun fact, my stepfather ran a limousine company, and he would chauffeur Ric Flair and some of the wrestlers when they came to town. And I heard stories from him about what happened. And so this shit doesn't surprise me. Like, Ric Flair at the time was the guy, right? He was the dude. Like, there was nobody else on top of the wrestling sphere than him, right? Like, he was the guy. And it like they said in the video, he got a pass because he was Ric Flair. Like, he was the dude. So, in this interview on Dark Side of the Ring, they were asking Moxley fan, there you go. They were asking Tommy Dreamer his opinion about Ric Flair. And he honestly said, he's like, I've been around Ric Flair. I don't think I've never seen him do anything like that. I've never seen him force himself on anybody. Everything was always consensual, blah, 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 blah. This is coming from a group of people, like a group of individuals. And I'm not lumping Tommy into this. I'm not lumping Flair into this. There are people in the wrestling industry in the 80s and 90s that would like basically roofie people and have their way with them. Like Rob Van Dam said, there's people that H-bombed women and made them completely knocked out and have their way with them. And that stuff was apparently common, right? That stuff was common. And it didn't happen like 20 years ago. I mean, you look at the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like that was a commonplace thing, right? That was a commonplace thing. It's like if you're going there, you're expecting something like that to happen. Otherwise, don't go there. Like I think it was JR in that interview said that, you know, either you knew the rules of the party or you walked in there and didn't know what to expect. And that was the thing. It's like if you're with that group, you know what you're going into. Like, you know what you're in for. So this is what I think people kind of guffawed over, right? They guffawed over everything about this nonsense. So what I'm saying here is, like, I don't think, like, they asked Tommy his opinion. And he gave his opinion. He didn't do anything of what was accused. He was never named as one of these individuals doing these terrible things. Like, yeah, he sat by and he watched it happen. But what the hell is he going to do? Is he going to speak up and lose his and get blacklisted from the entire industry? Is he going to go against all of his peers and get shunned and never be able to wrestle again when he's literally, like, living the life? No, he's not going to do that. Of course he's not. Rob Van Dam's not going to do that. Rob Van Dam's not going to speak up against the literal top guy in the entire industry. Why don't we shift gears here for a moment and go back to the fact that Vince McMahon and his wife Linda were on the plane and they saw and heard everything that was going on, and they did nothing. They did nothing. Out of everybody, they had the power to do something, and they did nothing. So why are we out here canceling Tommy fucking Dreamer over literal fuck all when he comes out and he says that he doesn't think that Rick did anything wrong here? At the time, he said, at the time, that was something that was accepted. That was something that happened. He said, and he went on to say, like, today's day, 1,000 times it would not be. It's 1,000 times wrong now, and it's horrible now. But he says, at the time, it was something that was widely accepted. And he says now, like, nowadays, Tommy said his haircut would insult people, which, I mean, it's the fact that he's getting canceled right now is proving his fucking point. It's proving his point. 100%. They're canceling him because they asked him his opinion, and he gave his honest fucking opinion. So I want to ask the chat real quick. Because this is something that kind of stuck with me a little bit watching, because, like, I don't doubt that it was traumatic, right, for that airline attendant. I don't doubt that it was traumatic for her, because the way that she was reacting, it seemed genuine. Right? However, like Tommy said, if it was something that really stuck with her, if it was something that was that horrifically bad, then why did she take the money? I want to ask you guys in chat, because her description about why she decided to take the settlement, out of everything in the parts of her interview, out of everything, that was the least genuine to me. I don't know if you people out there have. Oh, I owe you something. Yes, I do. 1 second, I have to load it up. I have to go grab it. Out of everything that she said, that was the least honest thing I found in the entire portion of her interview. Was that she took the settlement because her husband wanted her to. This is more Me Too bullshit. And it's even worse, Stacy, because Tommy didn't even do anything. He just gave his honest opinion, and people are flogging him for it right now. It's so fucking ridiculous. All right, 1 sec, I have to pull it up here. Where was it? Oh my god. In my best Ron Toye voice.
Jamie, get the remote.
There you go, producer Tim. I hope that was good enough for you. I had to log in. I figured out what was wrong. I had my Twitch account logged in when I grabbed the donation link, and so it put the alert to my Twitch and not my YouTube. That's fixed now. The TTS, if you're donating via the text to speech, it is going to show up on my YouTube now because I fixed that. I fixed that small issue.
Do the soy cave. I'll stop my life to tweet at you.
Exactly. But so Tommy just gave his opinion, and like, I think it's valid because even Vice couldn't fluff her interview up enough to make me question, because the entire section of her interview was very gripping, right? It was very, very genuine and very intense. The one part that I had an issue with was when she came out and gave her reason as to why she took the deal. So she took WWE to court. She and the other flight attendant took WWE to court over, being sexually harassed or whatever else on the flight, because even her employer told her to just leave it alone, because these things happen. You're dealing with massive celebrities. This is big money, just leave it alone. So she went against her employer, which, kudos to her for standing up and taking it to court. But she went and took them to court, and WWF, I think it was WWF at the time, they settled with her. They offered her money, and she took the settlement. Now, my question to you guys in chat, my question to you guys in chat, I want to ask you, if someone takes a settlement, should they, number one, not be able to talk about it again? Number two, if they still have a problem with it, should they have to pay back the settlement? And then they can proceed with whatever they want to do with it. Because we're talking about many years later. This person's getting a spotlight 20 years later after she took the money and left and didn't have an issue with it for 20 years. After they took the money, they didn't have an issue with it for 20 years, and now they have a problem. Well, I know certain non-disclosure agreements could only be enforceable for so long. You can't do an indefinite non-disclosure. But in terms of the principle of the situation, should you be allowed to seek legal avenues after you've accepted a settlement? As far as I'm aware, the settlement was to drop the case entirely, and then they get a sizable payout. So now she's bringing it up again 20 years later, publicly, in the court of public opinion, not in a court of law, when Ric Flair has already stated that these events didn't happen the way that she's telling them. You don't think you can do that? Which one do you not think I can do? To seek damages, no. This is the thing. It's like, yeah, it's a legal agreement she signed. If she wanted to speak about it, then she has to pay back the settlement and or seek legal stuff to allow, if her settlement allows so. The only exception would be if ... She already went to court and got a settlement. She shouldn't bring it up again. If she does want to, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pay back the money. She took the money. If the money was not, and she was even saying like money was not an appropriate solution for her. She was saying this in her interview. Well, absolutely, any judge would throw out an NDA. Like, there's no way that a non-disclosure agreement could be around indefinitely. It has to have a start and a finish date, and it has to be reasonable. It can't be indefinite. But the point is here is from a public opinion standpoint. I'm not talking about from a legally enforceable standpoint. I'm talking from a public opinion standpoint. Is it wrong to say to somebody, well, you took the fucking money? Like, is that wrong? Because that's why Tommy's getting canceled right now. Tommy Dreamer is getting canceled right now because he was on video on that interview said, well, she took the money. It couldn't have been that bad. She took the money. He didn't see her interview portion. He didn't see the pain and strain she was going through. And like, again, the weakest part of her interview, in my opinion, the weakest part of her interview was why she decided to take the settlement. She said several times that the money was not an adequate solution for her. She said, like, just taking money, like, she's like, in a court of law, you know, sometimes you can't just have the things erased. You know, sometimes money is the only recourse. And she's like, but, you know, money didn't really solve anything. So if money didn't really solve anything, then what would have, right? Would it have been going and getting Ric Flair charged with sexual assault or sexual harassment at the time? Then do that. Then why did you take the settlement? Like, is it wrong to ask that question? Because that's what Tommy Dreamer did, and he's getting roasted. He got indefinitely suspended from Impact Wrestling because he said that. I think that's completely fucking wrong. I think it's 100% wrong because, number one, he was asked his opinion about it. He wasn't given information that she provided, so he only knows the one side of the situation. He didn't see her interview on this situation and how she felt about it. And then he gave his honest fucking opinion. He's like, well, if she felt that way, why didn't she see the court case through to get him charged with sexual harassment and get justice on the situation? Why did she take the money? And that's a question that everyone should be asking, in my opinion. Tommy didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. That's the question, though. It's like, is it wrong to say, well, why did you take the settlement then? In my opinion, like that's the one thing that threw her entire section off for me, was she took the settlement because her husband wanted her to. Her husband wanted her to take the settlement, and she didn't want to tell her husband about and she was being dishonest with her husband about what happened because of all these other questions that never came up, but she thought might come up. Hello, Dark Strange Nico. There was a lot of like really questionable things. Becoming trans and caving another woman's face in, stunning and brave. Y'all know me. I'm 100% all the time. I'm 100%. I did not grow up in the female brainwashing mindset of I'm never gonna drag another woman down bullshit. If another woman is acting a fool, if a man is acting a fool, if another trans person's acting a fool, I'm going to call them the fuck out. Because I don't like this bullshit of, oh, your genitals determine how correct you are. If a woman is wrong, she's wrong. I'm sorry, folks. If a man's wrong, he's wrong. If a trans is wrong, they're wrong. Whatever you have in your pants does not determine how correct you are or how correct your opinion is. That's something, that's a core value of mine I'm always going to carry. Absolutely. And I look at things from a logical standpoint, right? Like I watched the entire show. I heard all of the stuff. I heard JR talk about it. I heard Rob Van Dam talk about it. I heard Tommy Dreamer talk about it. I heard the flight attendant talk about it. Being a man means being man correct. I talk to all of, like, I listen to all of these people talk, and the only person that seemed disingenuous, the thing was she was honest for the most part, but then when it came to the point of her involvement, and if she actually went along with it or if she actually pushed back against it, she started to waver, which tells me that she's not being honest. It tells me that she's trying to say what makes her look best in the best light, because she wasn't being completely honest about the situation. Whereas Rob Van Dam, when he was talking, you could tell it was really uncomfortable because he didn't want to talk about the entire thing, because there was a lot of stuff that he had to watch what he said. Like the entire time. Rob Van Dam was very consistent in his interview. Tommy Dreamer was very consistent in his interview. So this tells me that they're coming from a place of truth, even though Rob Van Dam's holding back a lot because he doesn't want to incriminate certain individuals. JR was very much the same. He was very guarded in what he said because he didn't want to step on toes or burn bridges that he knew he needed to walk over again. The only person that seemed inconsistent in that interview was the flight attendant, and it was only at the part around the settlement, because she was very strong about her opinions about a lot of stuff, and she wavered on that. She was very wishy-washy about that part, which threw her entire interview into question for me. So, looking at that, I don't agree that Tommy Dreamer should be canceled. I think Ric Flair should be looked into. I think Brock Lesnar should be looked into. I think Vince McMahon should be looked into. I think all of these individuals that were involved in questionable things, and all of these individuals, like listening to Terry Runnels talk about all of the times that she was told to don't sell it. Just don't sell it. Just don't sell it. And all of those times that she was told to just keep quiet about things that happen, that stuff should raise more questions than Tommy fucking Dreamer's opinion. In my opinion, it's literally happening in Canada, where it's not allowed to bring in a woman's past sexual history when defending Me Too cases. Yeah, there's a thing. There was a thing that was recently passed. I think it was in Ontario, where colleges and universities are being forced. They're being forced to come up with a new system for sexual crime reporting that says that the reporter cannot be held liable for reporting sex crimes. So if someone brings up a thing about sexual assault or sexual harassment or whatever else, they're not allowed to be questioned about their sexual history. They're not allowed to be prosecuted because they were in violation of the school's policy. They aren't allowed to be questioned about their status of inebriation at the time. So they're literally crippling the ability to investigate what happened. They just have to believe what was told. This is happening right now in Canada, in the university and college communities. Because there's a handful of people that came out. I don't remember if it was at Western or somewhere in London or Hamilton or whatever. I don't remember. But there was like 5 or 6 people that came out and made allegations about sexually inappropriate stuff. And the university was like, oh my God, I can't believe blah, 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 blah. And they found out through investigating those cases that the students that were making the allegations were breaking the rules of the college/university. They were breaking the rules by doing drugs on school property, by getting drunk on school property, and engaging in illicit behavior on school property. And they want that to be thrown out. They want someone that reports this stuff to not be allowed to be prosecuted for breaking the school rules and in turn putting themselves in a situation such as that. Now, am I saying that it's their fault? No. I'm not saying that anyone who is in a situation where they're sexually assaulted or abused is their fault. Absolutely not. However, there are things you can do to mitigate the risk. Going out and doing a line of cocaine and taking fucking mollies and going to a college room, a college dorm party where you're coked out of your fucking mind and you don't know what's going on. Take some personal fucking responsibility here. There is in existence in our reality, there is a reality where two things can be wrong at the same time. Number one, someone can rap artist you. That is wrong. Number two, you can also be doing illicit drugs on school property, breaking the rules. And that is also wrong. And both parties deserve to be punished for those crimes. Because we're quickly going to a position where we're going to have to segregate men and women. And it's going to be the 50s all over again. Because people have zero accountability. People have zero personal responsibility. This is not the simple case. This is not the simple case of, oh, she was wearing a skirt, she was asking for it. That's bullshit. This is not what that is anymore. We're talking about intentionally taking mind-altering substances to the point where you can't control your own faculties. Willfully going to a situation where it is sexually charged, where other people are not able to control their faculties, and you have a group of people who are not in control of their own functions congregating. What do you think is going to happen there? I think people need a dose of wake the fuck up. You know, to be complete sausage fest. And then stuff will still happen. This is the ridiculous part. The colored water fountain's coming back. Good lord. That's terrible. Goddamn Leighton gay. Goddamn. So like, this is what I mean. It's like we're getting to a situation where you can't even have an opinion when you're asked to give it. You can't even have an opinion anymore. So I'm going to crack open a drink here. I'm going to have a Mike's Hard Blue Freeze. A vodka alcoholic beverage. It's apparently a Blue Freezy. Smells like a Blue Freezy. Oh yeah, it tastes like one too. That's so good. I bought like a bunch of Mike's Hard stuff. I bought Mike's Hard Blue Freeze and Mike's Hard White Freeze. Yeah, people asking your opinion is a trap. So I did actually reach out to Tommy Dreamer. I don't expect to hear back from him. You want one? I don't expect to hear back from him. 1 second. Where's my sound shit at? You want one, Haven? Here you go. Poured one out for you. So, Tommy Dreamer has been suspended indefinitely. You want one too, Roxas? 1 sec, I got you. I got you, fam. So, he's been suspended indefinitely from Impact Wrestling. It's a nice biz sound. You don't know much about Tommy Dreamer except seeing a couple times in Practical Jokers when he pulled down Q's underwear in the mall. Pour you an old fashioned. We got you. Coming right up. So, Come on, man. So he got suspended indefinitely because of his opinion about what we're talking about here. About saying, if she felt so strongly about this, why did she take the money? He was not privy to her side of this interview, by the way. He didn't see what she said. He didn't hear what she said. He hadn't heard from her in 20 years. So his opinion on this is, if she was so upset by this, why didn't she just go to court? Why did she settle? Why didn't she just take it the whole way? And he admits that people were out of line. He says that, part of Ric Flair's shtick on the road was him like going completely naked except his robe and then like exposing people and woo! That's what he did. It was his version of a joke. Was it in bad taste? Absolutely. Absolutely it was. And apparently that's what made the locker room laugh. So that's why he did it. There was a lot of nonsense. Yeah, spinning his dick around like a helicopter. Apparently he's well endowed. And so Tommy wasn't witness to what was going on with the flight attendants. Rob Van Dam was, and Rob Van Dam didn't do anything to stop it. Again, I don't expect him to, because he would be killing his career if he did. But again, like, all of the stuff that was explained on that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, Vince McMahon was there. He knew about all of it. Vince McMahon basically told JR, this is your mess to fix. Go out there and fix it. So in 2004, the flight attendant and a second flight attendant filed a lawsuit against them and several wrestlers, including Flair, for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Both parties settled out of court, and Dreamer addressed saying if that's how she felt, maybe she shouldn't have taken a payout, and went to the fullest extent of the law to truly put his heinous person in jail. I don't disagree here. I do not disagree here. I completely agree. If she felt that way, then she should have gone the full gambit. She should have gone, because that would have been a massive payday. And she would have gotten her day in court. And she even says that she doesn't feel like what Flair did was meaning to rap artist her. Which, again, like this is what made me question her entire segment. Was she became very wishy-washy when it came to the settlement. She wanted the money. Clearly, she wanted the money. It was about money. It was about, getting back because he was wrong and she couldn't sleep at night and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. Again, watch the episode. Make your own decision on it. I don't think that Tommy did anything wrong here. I think other people did a lot of stuff wrong. here, and I don't think Tommy should be losing his job over it. Well, I guess the money ran out, Sam. I guess the money ran out, and now she's got to go. She's got to go get the rest of what she wanted. But she chose not to. She chose not to go with the lawsuit. Which, again, she decided to go with the lawsuit originally. I applaud her for it because she clearly was losing her job. Because the second she files a lawsuit, she's getting fired, like 100%. The second she's filing a lawsuit, she's never going to be a flight attendant again for that company, like 100%. So I applaud her for standing up and doing that. She obviously got a massive payday. And she lived off of that until it wasn't convenient to live off of that anymore. Should not have invested in Dogecoin. I put $20 on Dogecoin. Still haven't gotten that back. But there you go. So I've reached out to Tommy Dreamer. I don't think I'm not expecting any sort of response back from him at all. But he's got an invite. He's got an invite to talk about this and cancel culture and all that stuff. 'Cause I think what's happening with him is completely unfair. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction to a bunch of people that don't watch wrestling. There's a bunch of people that don't watch. Like, there's not a whole lot of people that watch Impact as it is right now, right? And you have literally like 3 times the amount of people talking about Tommy Dreamer and Impact and how they're never going to watch Impact. Have a good one, Tom. Made a $200 profit off of GameStop at the beginning of the year. Nice. That's amazing. But you want to know how much money we're talking about? Hundreds of thousands? We're probably talking about millions. Probably talking about millions of dollars in a settlement. Which, you know, at the time would have been a fucking shitload of money. There's no way. WWE was the biggest and the best that it's been. Like, that was the peak of WWF. And they did not want that getting out. So that would have been an open pocketbook, in my opinion, I think, to make that just go away. If it was for hundreds of thousands, if that was for hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's an embarrassment. But anyone out there that's talking about this that is surprised, y'all need to like check your fucking pulse, because I don't think that you've been alive for the past 30 years. Anyone that's surprised about this stuff coming out, or surprised about how these wrestlers act, give your fucking head a shake. Although I do find it a tad bit suspicious that this is dropping, that Chris Jericho is narrating it, and that this stuff is dropping when Brock Lesnar is coming back into the spotlight. Just, you know, just a bit of a monka, Tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of a monka, Not to say that this is driven by AEW, but, you know, hey, it's a dirty business. It's a dirty business. This is coming up now when AEW is, like, taking body shots at WWE, and WWE brought back in Brock Lesnar to try and pull the reins back from AEW. Not to say that this isn't pocket sand from AEW, but, you know, could be. But yeah, so that's the segment on this one. I want to talk a little bit about that today, because I think that Tommy's getting the raw end of the stick here. He's getting the raw shaft. I mean, Ric Flair is Ric Flair. I don't think he cares. I think he's made his money. I think you know, he'll be happy to get whatever he can. Is he upset that he lost a fucking car insurance commercial? I don't think so. I think he's like still coke encrusted. Worst decision ever was getting Mark Calloway's WrestleMania streak. Yeah, I agree. Was ending the streak to the fucking person that he ended it to as well. It's just like, that's ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. I agree. But we also have another story that we need to follow up with here very briefly before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. We have another. If y'all remember the Jewish Dillinger, I think he called himself the Jewish Dillinger, Eddie Deason. Well, buy shit if he did not make news. If he did not make another headline, this man, I swear to God, Eddie Deason, he was arrested at a restaurant. I'm not entirely sure what the hell happened. Hello, Ragnarok Knight. How are you doing? Harima, how are you doing? Eddie Deason, I'll pull you, like, Ragnarok Knight, I'll pull you in if you want to talk on this next segment. Like the the lawsuit stuff, I'll pull you in if you want to. But we're gonna talk briefly about Eddie Deason. This fucking dude. The Jewish Dillinger strikes again. He was arrested at a restaurant. You have no idea what I mean? Don't worry. Just let me know if you want to jump in and I'll pull you into the conversation eventually. Oh man, Dark. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, I'm not entirely sure what the hell happened here, but you can see this picturesque of masculinity right here. I have no idea what the hell happened to get him arrested, but he seemed to have some sort of problem. What are you even seeing here? This is Eddie Deason. If you recall a few weeks ago, on the podcast, I was talking about how Eddie Deason was put on blast by a waitress for harassing her and telling her that she has to wear fake eyelashes or else he's not going to go there anymore or something, or she has to wear short skirts or else he's not leaving or something. I don't fucking know. The grease dude. Yeah. And I thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever until it turned out that he actually fucking did it, and he went on full cat blast. He went autopilot, the autopilot of cool on fucking Facebook and admitted everything. And to the point where his manager quit. His manager fired him, basically, as a client. And now, recently, he went. I guess he tried to go back to the restaurant again, and he got arrested. Yeah. So he was causing a scene at a restaurant in LaVille, Maryland, around lunchtime, and he refused to leave, so police were called. What kind of moron gets Karen for eyelashes? He was being an over the top creep about it. Why is he shirtless? Because he was losing his mind in the restaurant. So he was causing a scene in the restaurant, and he refused to leave. And so the deputies arrived. He hid behind a woman in a booth. So he climbed over a table and hid behind a woman that was sitting in a booth in a restaurant. And he had to be forcibly removed, which is why I'm guessing he doesn't have a shirt on, because he was probably struggling. They had to take his shirt off. He apparently threw numerous items, including plates, bowls, and food, and struck one of the deputies. So he was eventually removed, shirtless, and hauled off to jail, where he's being held and charged with second-degree assault, disorderly conduct, and trespassing. He's literally Randy Marsh from South Park. He's literally Randy Marsh from South Park. And the sad part was, I literally, earlier this week, before this came out, earlier this week, I saw that some convention announced that he was going to be there for this Grease reunion, and he was going to be a part of it. I don't think that's happening anymore. I think he's done. A hug is assault now. Yes, this is very true. A hug is assault. There you go. It's his mugshot. He seems to be super happy about his predicament. He seems to be very happy about his predicament right now. Oh my god. So I wanted to talk a bit about that to cap off the first hour. Tell me more. Did she put up a fight? Anybody else get Bill Nye vibes? I don't think Bill Nye ever assaulted police officers. Oh, he is relevant now. He's more relevant than most of the Grease cast. This poor dude. He looks like your high school geometry teacher. So I saw this and I wanted to follow up with this because, like, Jesus Christ, it was so funny because we talked at length about this dude on a stream a while ago, and we showed grabbed a bottle of wine and poured a glass. Cheers. Well, I know more about Deason than I know about Travolta now, so there you go. So I wanted to follow up on this because this was too goddamn funny to pass up. There you go. Eddie Deason being arrested because he's losing his goddamn mind. So there you go. Ernest from Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest Goes to Jail, more like it. Got that orange jumpsuit on now. All right. We're gonna talk. Now that we've warmed up the audience now. It is time for the main event of the evening. We're going to talk a little bit. Ernest is a national treasure. We're going to talk a little bit about something that a bunch of fat mads really don't want us to talk about. In fact, there has been a lunatic on Twitter right now, probably still right now, probably tenfold now that I've started talking about it again since the stream started. You can go to the bathroom first. Don't worry, I'm greasing up the grill here. Go for it, Gav. There's a bunch of fat mads that really, really don't want us talking about this court case. You get a hall pass. They really don't want us talking about this court case. So much so, just one. Oh no, there's a few. Clowny. So apparently, oh yeah, folks. Apparently, I have multiple police reports hanging over my head. You know, apparently, it's not just one fat idiot going to the German authorities and trying to get them to take down my streams and my Twitters. Abusing the German government's social media rules when they're not even a German citizen. By the way, when they're not even a German citizen. Permission to show your newest tweet? Sounds good. You get them clowns into chat. Get them clowns in there. You support a criminal now? Say it isn't so. Yeah, apparently, it does. I have multiple police reports hanging over my head. Okay. You mean the police reports where Twitter notified me because of German law that there was no incidents found? There's no infractions found at all from the 3 reports that you filed on me?
That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
So somebody else is defrauding the German government? Good to know. Because all of those things were about a certain clowny. So if someone's filing privacy complaints and harassment complaints to the German government about a certain clowny, I guess they're defrauding the German government. Oops. I'm certain that the German police are so interested in me. I'm so certain of it. You don't send in the clowns. International Gal of Mystery. Yeah, baby. So this has been fun. It's so funny that the person that's throwing stones and trying to abuse her country's social media laws casually forgets that she is the one that is most affected by her own country's social media laws. And the fact that, she is actually breaking those laws. She's the one that can be prosecuted for such laws, not people who live in other countries. What a shock. What a twist. Welcome back, Gav. Welcome back, Gav. I got my own inspector from Interpol. I wonder if he subscribed. So there's a person, because I'm sure they take up more than one seat on an airplane, so we'll consider them multiple people on the internet right now that are really, really upset that I'm talking about Chrissy's court case. Wow. To the point where she created her own, not Chrissy, this multiple individual. To the point where this multiple individual decided to open up another Twitter account so they can keep their original one locked. And they can shitpost behind a lock. But they created a new Twitter account for the sole purpose of harassing people, which is against the Twitter TOS, by the way. It is against the Twitter TOS to create an account specifically for the purposes of harassment. So good job. For the specific purpose of trying to distract me and get me to respond because she wants my attention so badly. To be the bodyguard of a certain criminal that is going to court for a criminal charge. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. But, I'm the one that's upset, right? I'm the one that's totally upset. I'm the one that's totally ripping my hair out as I'm laughing in your face. As I'm laughing at your hypocrisy, as I'm already 20 years ahead of you, watching you stumble and fumble the entire way. Girl, this is not me in the rear view mirror you're seeing. I am not behind you. I am preparing to lap you. Because you've been asleep at the wheel and you don't understand what you're talking about. So yes. You see, today I have an admission, folks. I said earlier that I would be broadcasting on site from inside of the empty skulls of the clowns that I'm living inside the head of. However, I had to change the venue last minute because the reception was so bad, because their skulls are so thick that a signal just couldn't get through. Couldn't get a signal through. So I had to go back to my regular programming. Meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom. So let me ask you guys something. Are you guys ready for story time? Are you guys ready for story time with Crumb Baby? Are you guys ready? Story time with Crumb Baby. All right, let's break this out. Let me zoom a doom in here so that you guys can see this better. All right. So I don't know if you guys Grum Baby. I don't know if you guys were privy to this. Like, we're going back a little bit here. We're going back about a week. So there was another. I'm at least drinking from the skulls of your enemies. If there was room enough to fit liquor in there, I would absolutely. It's literally just one solid piece of bone. Not even enough room for a brain cell. So, if you remember a little while ago, we had one very interesting individual, Concern Troll, pop out and be like, "I'm so concerned about how Quentin Flynn interacts with his fans. I was so upset that he was getting hugs and he was kissing people without my permission." So this is we're talking about Anime North, by the way. We're talking about Anime North, and I got this information directly after I went offline. It's Halloween. You could always dress up as a vampire and drink their blood. I mean, like I do every day. I got this piece of information right after I went offline. So this was from the person, the Pearl Clutcher, who went to Anime North, right? This is literally the year, I think the year after, or like the year of, they went to Anime North. This is the person that had a problem with Quentin Flynn hugging somebody, with Quentin Flynn having girls throw themselves at him, asking for kisses, asking for hugs, and posing for photographs. This was their big concern, right? Meanwhile, on their own blog, this is their description of them lusting after. This isn't the entire thing either. This is just a snippet of it. They went to so she went to a K-pop concert, I'm guessing, with her friends. And she went to this K-pop concert and followed one of the band members to a restaurant. And was talking about how they were like going to rap artist him with their eyes and all this other stuff. You can see in that little red box there. They were cracking inappropriate, dirty jokes. They were rap artisting him with their eyes. They were literally being weirdos, but hugging someone when they're asked to be hugged. That's too much. This is from the same year, I believe. Same year. So yes. We were rap artisting him with our eyes, Pearl Clutcher 2008. So this is 2 years after Anime North. 2 years after Anime North, by the way. So she was 18. She was 18 years, admittedly, at Anime North in 2006. In 2006, she said she was 18 when she had such a problem with Quentin Flynn. 2 years later, when she was 20, she's acting like a fucking 2-year-old in a restaurant. And then comes out in 2021 saying, I don't like how Quentin interacted with his fans. Re. Yet here you are acting like an absolute clown. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to touch on that briefly. So we're going to go through here. We're going to go through some of these tweets. These are responses, by the way. I don't sit here every waking moment of my day and name search. All right. People send me messages all the time. It's sad to see. It's sad that folks think that I sit on Twitter and search terms all day, when in fact I get snippets sent to me from people who just really don't like the clown crew that's trying to cancel folks because they're miserable with their own lives. These people think that I sit here and name search constantly, and I'm constantly on their profiles and constantly screenshotting them. Here's the thing, folks. Twitter has a number of automatic triggers that the morons that constantly try to start these fights take advantage of. These assholes love to start fights and then love to use Twitter's automated loopholes to get people banned. So once you know what these automatic loopholes are, then you can start avoiding them. And you can start avoiding them. And then these clowns get really, really mad. They get really, really upset. How do clowns cook their eggs funny side up? They get really upset because you don't do things that they can report. People accuse you of searching names too. Exactly. I get random shit sent to me all the time. I literally got a message from somebody because of my coverage of Russell Greer. Like, I was gonna have Russell Greer on the show, and there's a lot of really smart people out there, a lot of really, really fucking smart people out there that are like, oh, it's really suspicious that some random streamer can get Russell Greer on the show. Doesn't seem like it was the real Russell Greer. It was the real Russell Greer, by the way. I posted a snippet of the DM I had with him to show not only the fact that it was his actual account, but the fact that he agreed to come on the show. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why, after several years of me being completely fucking honest with everybody, and showing receipts for literally everything, that people haven't figured out that, like, I don't tell a lie. I don't tell a lie. I don't tell a lawyer. I don't tell a lawyer anything. No, I don't tell lies. That noise. I don't tell lies. I back everything I say up. I have been doing so for the past 3 years. Get it through your skulls, people. Get it through your skulls. Exactly. They only understand basement, gremlin, and honk. Exactly. So yeah. Some great tweets from Samantha. Great tweets. So then this is regarding the same pearl clutching buffoon, by the way. Because she initially, like, after I BTFO'd her on Twitter, she locked down and she started deleting shit. And then she unlocked her account and said, "I'm going to contact the police." No, Russell never replied to me still. He still hasn't replied to me. After unlocking her Twitter, she came back, "I'm going to contact the police. They're threatening my children." That bunny photo. Exactly. And so she was threatening to call the authorities. Do it. Go for it. Go to the police. Help. Police. Go for it. People on the FBI, people on the internet are talking about me. People on the internet are talking about me. FBI, police, help. So she inserts herself into drama, intentionally is stupid about it, and then goes huffing and puffing about going to the authorities. So yeah, go for it. Bunny snoot. It's a little palette cleanser right here. Bunny snoot. The bun sniffer. The bun sniffer. That was the best bunny picture. B-stars made you look at bunnies differently. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Then there's this idiot.
Hello, Department of Homeland Security? People are talking about me on the internet.
Some of these people don't understand. We dealt with an actual stalker. Exactly. You guys dealt with an actual stalker who got an actual protection order put against them. It is a great bun snoot. I agree. Don't forget, he himself just harassment in general. Great English language here by this absolute pinnacle of humanity. Replying to an absolute pinnacle of humanity. Him and his extremely rabid fans. Don't forget, he himself just harassment in general. Him and his extremely rabid fans. This is after these idiots constantly have been saying stuff to provoke the other side. You lost all your save data for Doom Eternal? God damn. Yeah, the fucking Wii profile picture. So I tell them, it's like, pro tip, folks, don't attack people unprovoked with false narratives if you don't want to have people in your mentions. That's it. Easy. If you are tired of people talking about you, if you're tired of people jumping on and proving you absolutely fucking wrong every single time you open your stupid mutant mouth, then maybe you should stop saying stupid mutant things. Maybe you just shouldn't talk falsities about people, and you won't have people correcting you constantly. Maybe. Tiny bit. We just want to spread our false narrative, and all these pesky facts are harassing us.
Come on, man.
Good Lord. And so, here's the 16th of September. Folks, to talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about. The 17th of September, there was a preliminary hearing scheduled for Chrissy because she is up for a criminal charge. She is up to be criminally charged with a misdemeanor, Class A misdemeanor in Indiana, which carries, I think, a maximum of 2 years in prison with a hefty fine. Hefty fine for invasion of privacy. So, on September 16th, our good old friend Clowny started up the band, and she was losing her ever-loving fucking mind on Twitter, which signaled to me that something was going to happen. Because you have the entire clown crew going on and saying, "Oh, there's no criminal charge. There's nothing happening. This is lies. This is not true. It's not true. It's impossible." And these little lemmings don't open their mouth unless they're told to, because they have one collective brain cell between all of them, and it all fires at the same speed. So I said, it must be hot in Indiana today because the air conditioning is set to full blast on Twitter. All of the air conditioners are set to full blast on Twitter on September 16th. And as a casual reminder, oh yeah, that's Chrissy. You're dealing with Ralph Wiggum. Ralph Wiggum has more intelligence than that collective group of slime. That's what I was going for, Haven Lane. That's what I was going for. Just a casual reminder. And this is still a casual reminder, folks. No matter if Chrissy pleads out, if she pleads to a lesser charge or not, she's still violated a court order to get where she is. She still violated her protection order. You gotta go. See about recording with Drex tomorrow. If it's tomorrow, I do work until 11 o'clock. So, if it's tomorrow, I will be like dumb late for the recording if you guys are staying up that late. But thank you so much for hanging out, Lost. Thanks for hanging out, Lost. I appreciate it. So she still violated a court order to get here. She still broke her protection order. She got charged with invasion of privacy, and she's still in court because of that, because she is at fault. She is the criminal, and Quentin is the victim. Let's get that very clear, because the word victim is getting thrown around a lot here. And there's a lot of people who say, "Oh, Quentin's victims. He's Quentin's victims. He's attacking victims." No. Quentin is the victim here. And he is being attacked by the criminal and her accomplices. So, our good friend here is trying to say, "Oh, show me the exact part where the judge declares Quentin Flynn has never harassed, assaulted, or abused women." He says it in the initial hearing where he slammed the criminal with a protective order. He says, "If you believe that this is the case, then you should take this to court. If you believe that these things happened, show us the part where Quentin was charged." This isn't a, "Oh, show me first" thing. No. You made the stupid claim. you mutant pauper. So show the evidence. Show the receipts. Show us where your claim is based in truth. Show us where it says that Quentin has harassed, assaulted, or abused. Because these are all legal terms. These are not just regular terms. These are legal terms. So show us the charges. Show us the charges. You can't. So you have to fall back on this bullshit. Yeah, the you first tactic, right? The you first tactic. I never claimed such a thing happened, but you did. See, this is where the fallacy starts to set in, right? This is where the fallacy starts to set in. It's like, I'm going to make a stupid claim. I'm going to make a mutant claim against somebody. And then I'm going to walk it back and say, oh, I never actually made the claim against them. I never said that they actually did anything. I only just heavily implied it and make the general public think that that's what happened. And then they use verbiage like he took his victim to court. No, he took his assaulter to court. He took his assaulter to court. The person who victimized him. The court absolutely was about innocence or guilt because they determined that Chrissy, the criminal, the assaulter in this situation, this is fact, by the way, found by the court, that she was guilty of stalking, and they awarded Quentin Flynn with a protection order against Chrissy, his assaulter. And no, Quentin has not been found guilty of anything. Period. Period. But, he's still a bad thing, though. No, he's not. You defeated your own argument in this entire statement. By the way, idiot. Yeah, you never claimed he did. You only did twice. You only claimed twice in that same paragraph. So why don't we talk instead about the actual criminal that's having a hearing in court tomorrow? This was on the 16th. Considering you totally are double talking or trying to run deference for her, instead of let's talk about that instead of the hypothetical. Yeah, totally not accusing him of anything, by the way. Yeah, that quote-unquote victim is criminally charged with invasion of privacy, by the way. She's quickly losing control. This is why she's employed Clowney to go on Twitter and shit spread. Because they're trying to get control. They're trying to get their hands on the narrative again. And I really, really hope that the prosecutor's downloading all of these tweets. Because, Jesus Christ, you guys are making this job so fucking easy. Don't we know another voice actor who the defendants first alleged more serious crimes until it went to court and then they accused of lesser things? Absolutely. And then there's an Umbreon. There's an Umbreon bun. A Bunbreon. Thank you, Samantha, for sending me the Bunbreon. And as Samantha says, the judge said, if these things you claim actually happened, you need to let law enforcement do their job. That is 100%. If these things actually happened, you need to let law enforcement do their work. And the prosecution is aware of the names and the Twitter accounts that are helping their queen, Chrissy, break that court order, by the way. And these idiots might be single-handedly earning them a criminal record. But yeah, pure speculation, by the way. Yeah. Look at this gem. This gem right here of humanity. I'd love to see them use my tweets as evidence. I would put them through so much litigation, it wouldn't even be funny. Lol. That's a certain JPEG. That's a certain JPEGgy that is threatening to sue the prosecution for using evidence. By the way, let me just put that. Let me just cut that and paste it. He's threatening to sue the prosecution for using evidence that is publicly available. Let me just exclamation mark that for a moment. Yeah, I'd love to see this idiot try to sue a state for using publicly available tweets as evidence. Not that they would use an irrelevant nobody like him, but hey. I would love to see it happen. I'd love to see it happen. So, this is about the time when somebody sent me this update that Chrissy, feel bad for his future husband, wife if he gets one. I feel bad for his future cats. Because that corpse isn't even worth eating. Those poor cats. Isn't that suing the state? Yeah, he wants to sue the state. He wants to sue the state for using evidence that's publicly available. And so this is about the time where I got the information that Chrissy had filed a waiver of the initial hearing. So, folks, what this means, and I want to get into this. I want to get into this because there's a lot of confusion as to what this means. When you get charged, and again, I'm not a lawyer. This is purely my layman understanding of this. And unfortunately, I understand this way better than most people do. When you get charged with a criminal charge, this shows who's really actually thinking. You really like to see JPEGs sue the state? Go for it. Government has endless amounts of money to fight you. Exactly. So, I mean, we could look at it, right? Like Donald fucking Trump sued the fucking states. The president of, like, the former president of the United fucking States sued, and he didn't have enough money to win. There you go. So, the initial hearing, when you get charged with a crime, when you get charged like a crime like Christy did, for invasion of privacy, the initial hearing is to bring you in and to read you the charges and make sure that you understand what the charges are. And it's an opportunity for your lawyer, your defense lawyer, your defense attorney. It is an opportunity for them to raise any concerns regarding the degree of evidence that the prosecution has. So basically, it's a chance to go and say, actually, Judge, the prosecution doesn't actually have a case here. We can just dismiss this immediately because there's not they don't have anything. This is garbage. You know, this is clearly not invasion of privacy. Blah 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 blah. You can come up and you can argue that they don't have enough evidence. There's a number of reasons that you would waive your initial hearing, largely to save money. Another would be that you agree with the charges, and you say your lawyer looks at it and says, you know what, they have enough here. We understand what the charges are. We understand what it means. We agree with it, and we can move on to trial. We can speed this up. Which it seems like it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. It is very clear that Chrissy has breached her protection order. There's no question. It's very clear that Chrissy has no money. No question. So it looks like they're trying to speed this along to trial as fast as possible. However, in my unprofessional opinion, this seems to be greasing up the rails for a plea bargain. It seems as though Chrissy may have already come to terms that she is going to be eating a charge for this, and that her lawyer is working with the prosecutor to try and get this sped along as expediently as possible so they can plead out. Did I happen to catch Nick stream yesterday about the Rittenhouse hearing? He got such a good defense attorney and somewhat competent judge. I have not. Didn't hear about that yet. That's pretty cool, though. So you don't, if you're innocent and you want to fight for your innocence, you don't necessarily waive your initial hearing. It makes no sense. She most likely waived it because Quentin wouldn't be there, and she's so obsessed and wants the trial so she can get a glimpse of him. I think that it's because she is going to be pleading no contest to a lesser charge. That's my assumption. So the fact that she waived the hearing, and the fact that the hearing has now been moved until December 16th, does not mean that she's any more innocent. I, in fact, think that she's going to be waiting. She's going to be pleading to a lesser count. Very likely pleading to a no contest of a lesser count of invasion of privacy. Which would net her probably probation and no jail time. That is what I'm guessing is happening. Because here's the thing, right? We have information. The information's there. You can see the name of her lawyer. Looking up her lawyer, and you guys can do this freely because I don't want to dox too much information on here. You can look up this information freely yourself. But her lawyer is a first-year attorney who specializes in mediation. He specializes in plea deals, basically. You gotta go. Have a good one. Ragnarok night. Take care. Thank you so much for hanging out. So he specializes in mediation and basically plea deals. She hired a lawyer. He's on retainer. It says retained. So she hired a lawyer from a law firm that has a lawyer that specializes in criminal defense. An experienced lawyer that specializes in criminal defense. And she chose the lawyer that specializes in mediation. Now, whether that was because of cost restraints, I don't know. But I would think that, if I was in a situation where I had to defend myself criminally, I would not be going for the guy, the first-year attorney, first of all, who specializes in bargaining. Wouldn't be my choice. I would rather go with the defense lawyer who's actually had experience under his belt for criminal defense. If I was looking to exonerate myself of the charge, it seems to me that she understands she's not going to get out of this. She's not going to get out of a charge. Because she understands she done fucked up. That's my understanding of this. Let's take a look. And again, you're defending a criminal. You're defending a criminal. You are defending a criminal. You're defending a criminal. And of course, you guys 100% showed me. You guys 100% showed me, because I cannot be allegations that are all either friends or criminally or friends of the criminal or directly copied off of her. This is another idiot that claimed that Quentin is transphobic, by the way. He's not. Spoiler alert. No contest means that you are not arguing the charge. No contest means that you're not arguing the charge at all. You're just taking it. And all these people that come out and say, "Oh, it's just one case that he's proven incorrectly." There's still countless other people that came forward. Yeah, the countless other people that came forward are all connected. They're all connected to Chrissy, or they copy her fucking homework straight up. It's all bullshit. And Quentin is absolutely not transphobic. Absolutely not. So, here's where the funny part came in. Because, folks, apparently, we caused the hearing to not happen. We did. We did it, fam. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. We got her. We got her. Terrorism has been ended. We have ended the terrorism because Clowney here says that we caused Quentin's fans, we caused the hearing to be canceled. The funny part is that they made this happen. What did they expect? Get your minions on a tighter leash. No one has a leash on me, honey. I am the capital D Dom in this situation. Nobody tells me what to do. Quentin could literally come out right now and tell me, please stop talking about this. I'm going to keep talking about it because ain't nobody tell me what I can and can't do. Ain't nobody. I'm sorry that you have a leash. I'm sorry that you have a leash and it's attached to a criminal. Sorry, hun. Sorry that your choker's a little bit too tight. But I ain't got one. I ain't got one. I can show you so many messages from Quentin's life where Christy contacted them and tries to get them to come again. I believe it. I believe it, Sam. And you should do it, too. The only women it worked for were the manipulated ones with no spine. Yep. Yeah, I don't have a leash on me. And I'm sorry that you do. Because it's pathetic. The Quinn stands and the Kiwi farm. The Kiwi farms. The lurkers have been stroking their cocks for weeks. Only to be denied the climax. This is what it's all about here, isn't it?
They've been stroking their cocks for weeks, waiting for this hearing, and now we denied them. Ha! We totally got them. We totally got them.
Oh, you got me. You got me. You 100% got me. Clowney, you did it. Gosh darn. Gosh darn, Clowney. If I only knew you were going to rip the initial hearing out from under my feet by just having your queen admit that she understands and she agrees that there's enough evidence to hold a trial. God damn, you fucking got me. God damn. Wow, you certainly got me. I couldn't have planned that any better. Crumbs over here like Dom top for kinky bottom rack. DM me on Grindr, Tinder, MySpace, OnlyFans. Yeah, she's also going after Kiwi Farms because she's a completely super duper smart individual. And so this is the funny part because she thinks that because I am commenting on a public criminal proceeding that it's going to result in them just like we can't try this criminal. Oh, someone's commenting on it. Someone's watching us. Oh, you're innocent. You had an orgasm just the other day. Sorry to shatter that. Like, Jesus Horatio Christ, please tell me that you're getting the advice from Law Twitter. Please. Please tell me that you're getting this information from Law Twitter so I can laugh so fucking hard my spleen will rupture. Please. That talking about a criminal case publicly means that the person that's on trial for the crime is just automatically innocent and can never be tried forever. Please tell me that's happening. Like, Jesus Christ. Imagine being more worried about some wackadoo on the internet laughing at you than your own friend's impending criminal fucking record. Just bury me. Just bury me right now because I'm dead. And this is my actual reaction, by the way, folks. This is my real-time actual reaction. Oh yes, this is an absolutely brilliant tweet too. You don't need any help getting your hands sticky, you're a grown ass man. Discussing someone's legal strategy without knowing a thing about it is not a great look, to be honest. Well, that's too motherfucking bad, isn't it? That's too goddamn fucking bad, isn't it? I'm going to talk about someone's legal strategy. I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want to. As much as I fucking want to. Because you know what, Clowny? I'm not party to the case. I'm not the one with a criminal charge. It's too painful to read. I can speculate on what the legal strategy is here. Right, every single fucking day. Right up until the day that it happens. I'm guessing I'm pretty close, though, because I can feel the heat radiating from your fucking hemorrhoids from here. I can feel the heat. You could power a city off of the convection that they're getting off of your asshole right now. I guess I'm pretty close. I'm really sorry that I ruined your surprise when she was going to plead out to a lesser charge, and then you could be like, haha, there's no criminal charges. She just pleaded to a lesser crime. She's not going to jail. You're wrong. Pretty sure the prosecutors aren't the only one keeping tabs on social media surrounding Quentin Flynn. Actually, they're keeping tabs on you, sweetie. They're keeping tabs on you, sweetheart. This is why you're so bold, isn't it? Because you know it's not going to trial. Because your idiot friend is going to plead out to a lesser charge. Right? That's assuming that the prosecutor gives you something to plead to. Because they're going to have all the power in this situation because you can't keep your fucking mutant mouth closed. So I break it down. I can speculate about Queenie's legal strategy as much and as often as I want. I'm not party to the case, and it's public. And if that salts you, you're the slug in this situation. Fact is, if she felt she was innocent, there's no evidence to stand trial, she wouldn't waive the preliminary hearing and skip to the arraignment. Unless she's planning to plead to a lower charge, it reeks of pleading out, and it reeks of a clown returning to Twitter just to do damage control and spin doctoring. Exactly, she's playing an open hand just to spite me. It's so funny. They're just mad at all the name calling in the world won't change the facts that Quentin is not the one facing charges. Exactly. It's an insult to slugs. And yes, I reached this conclusion myself by looking at the facts available and applying logic and critical thinking. And that's why you're so fucking mad it's being discussed. Because I'm fucking right, isn't it? It's because I'm right, isn't it? No, I'm not the one with multiple police reports hanging over their head. No, that's just your criminal friend. You keep running deference for. I mean, with friends like you, Clowny, who needs a criminal record? Thinking you're important enough to get leaked information. Honestly, the police reports are about you. I already knew that, you clown! This is called wit. This is called wit. Something that you critically fucking lack, by the way. Because you have to have somewhat of an intelligent mind to understand it, or even process it. It's called wit. I knew you were talking about me, you moron. It's called banter and wit. There's a problem, though. Take a drink. I'm already done my drink. I have to get water, though. Filing frivolous police reports to the German police so you could take advantage of Germany's overreaching social media policies failed you, by the way. Oh yeah, the intimidation tactics are hilarious. I fully expected it from her. And here's the funny part, right? When I say that I'm years ahead of her, like this is literally like Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd at this point. Like, banter how the Irish and British talk in our everyday lives. Exactly. Can't take the banter out of my blood. It's like Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd at this point. It's like, I already know what you're going to do before you even think about doing it. I'm just waiting for you to catch up to me, hun. I'm waiting for you to catch up, Cupcake. You think that you've got it figured out. You think you've got all the answers. It's so funny. It's so cute because it's literally like watching a rat through a maze. It's literally like watching a rat through a maze. But yeah. Focus on the dog shit on your own lawn. Seriously. Focus on the dog shit on your own lawn. File as many frivolous police reports as you possibly want because you have no idea what the term harassment means. Fun fact, you cannot engage with the person that is quote unquote harassing you and then claim that they're harassing you when you're constantly goading a response. I'm only replying to your stupidity. I'm not going out here and sending you videos and sending you tweets. This is what she wants me to do, by the way. She's mad that I'm screen capping her tweets because I'm not engaging her. If I retweeted her, that would be me engaging her. And she wants me to engage her. She wants me to reply. She wants me to retweet her. Because that automatically gets flagged in Twitter, and she can abuse that. Which is why I don't do it. I've walked down this road before, Cupcake. I'm not talking to you. I am laughing at you with my followers. Because of your pathetic attempts at intimidation and bullying and assault. It's sad. Because you're doing it to defend a criminal. Get help. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my followers. I have no interest in talking to you. Because I already know You're trying to do everything you can to get me yeeted and censored anywhere you possibly can by making up bullshit stories about how I'm attacking your unborn children, about how I'm detrimental to Quentin's case, about how I'm this, how I'm that, how you try to shut down everything I put up to scare me away from supporting Quentin and supporting Sam. Good luck. I've said this before. I have a life beyond Twitter. You don't. Your entire life revolves around it. You said it yourself. You created an account because you were bored at a salon when you were getting your hair done. Do you know how many normal people are sitting at a salon getting their hair done, and the first thing that they think to do is create another Twitter account so they can harass people and they can pick fights with people online? Zero. The answer is zero. No normal brain fucking individual thinks to do that. You're a damaged mutant. Fix yourself. Yeah, I'm not German. That was somebody else. If somebody else is filing false reports for your benefit, then you're you're even worse of a friend than I thought you were to begin with. Because you're trying to get people to file fraudulent reports on your behalf. Why are you doing this? All of the reports that I got from the German government, by the way, the reports against my tweets, the reports against my YouTubes, the reports against my my stores, all of them were revolving around you, Clowny. All of them. So why would your friend, quote unquote, in Germany, if there is one, why would your friend in Germany be jeopardizing themselves by fraudulently filing claims on your behalf? You know what Chrissy was doing when she made BQF? Sitting with her dying grandmother in the hospital. Incredible. Exactly. You drink a fucking Starbucks or you read a book. You don't create a burner Twitter account to get in fights with people on the internet. Jesus Christ. And you can't wait for next week. I can't wait for next week either. Because it's 1 week closer to Halloween. I know you can't wait for next week because you're trying to act like something is actually going to happen because you're filing so many police reports. I can't even hold all these police reports. I'm digging my own grave. I remember the last time that you couldn't wait for a specific day or a specific week or, there's so many things that are going to be happening. Did you get your trough installed next week? Is that what you're excited about? Literally nothing. You can't do anything beyond huff and puff and try and intimidate people off of Twitter. It's sad. It's sad. Get help. Yeah, funny how I'm not the one screenshotting someone's post like an obsessed stalker and find it so funny that documenting harassment will show a pattern when someone jumps from target to target. You don't even understand what that word means. You don't even understand what the word harassment means. If I'm harassing someone, then how is harassing multiple targets or jumping from target to target harassing one person? How is it by bringing up facts and evidence that I'm harassing one singular person? Because that's not the definition of harassment, you moron. I'm stalking you? Meanwhile, you're the one hanging on my every word, trying to get me to talk to you, trying to get others to get me to talk to you. I don't care about you. I'll happily, for the purpose of content, laugh and mock the shit you put out there. Have no problem with that. Because every time you reply to me, every time you say something stupid in my direction, every time that you constantly have your little fucking flying monkeys come after me and say stupid things, or you have your toothless buffoons try to LARP like they're brain damaged. They don't need to LARP, by the way. And then try to use that as a gotcha against me. Every time you do that, resets that clock, honey. Keep it going. Because I'm not the one that lives in a country that has a brutally harsh cyberbullying law that I could literally file at any single point in time and get you in jail for the rest of your life. But why would I do that when this is much more funny? Show me where anything I'm doing has anything to do with Chrissy spreading your conspiracy theories. Oh, really? I have information that I will eventually show. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to do it right this second, because it's more fun this way. I have information that shows that what you're doing is actually directly in defense of Chrissy, but I will show something else. With the permission of Sam, I do have a victim impact statement. As you can see, this was provided by Sam to the prosecutor. This is a victim impact statement saying Chrissy cease engaging with her online associates, even though Chrissy was warned against doing so by the judge, continued to harass and stalk us on her behalf. Chrissy was ordered by the judge to remove all harmful media, but shortly after the February 3rd court hearing, she engaged her online friends to download everything in the Google Drive containing harmful private information as well as defamatory content, including a cartoon of Quentin being murdered. This drive contains revenge porn that Chrissy illegally recorded and distributed. The online associates of Chrissy have also publicly conspired to continue these invasions of privacy. They include CH. Full names are not blotted out on the actual paper, by the way. I'm doing it out of courtesy. SN. I'm sure our clowny friend knows who that is. TA. Full names provided to the prosecutor, by the way. We ask that these individuals cease assisting Chrissy in circumventing her court order. For example, it was through these individuals Chrissy leaked her copy of the court transcript when she publicly admitted to doing so. Aside from a public apology and or retraction, Chrissy is no longer allowed to publicly speak about Quentin and Samantha Flynn. Yo! What the heck was that? Something happened. Something happened. 1 second. I have to check it out because my thing is blocking it. There we go. $5 super chat. Oni Lord Miki. Hold up. What's this about her country's cyberbullying laws? You say you could take her down at any time if you feel like. She lives in a country that has extremely strict cyberbullying laws. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the $5. She has extremely potent cyberbullying laws. And absolutely, she can be taken down. Because what she is doing is breaking those laws. We both hope that Chrissy received the help and guidance that she desperately needs before she can do any further harm to herself or anyone else. But yes, they have your names. And I have information that even further shows that you're connected to this, which I'm not going to show right now because that would be too clowny of me. See, there's benefits to holding stuff back and not showing your entire hand. By the way. I think that's about it. We have this one. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave this up on screen for the rest of it. Oh no. There's a reason why I'm holding it. And it's not because I don't have it. Part of it is because I don't have permission to share it, but part of it is also the fact that it's not the right time to show it. We'll show it eventually. We will show it eventually. But this is better. This is funnier. Because there is evidence that is recorded and archived. It doesn't matter how many times you delete it or smash your hard drive. It's forever. It's out there. And we have it. So, sweat about that a little bit. Because here's the thing. The more you talk, the more you open your stupid mouth, the more you say heinous things about Quentin, about Sam, the more you do that, the worse you're making it. For yourself, the worse you're making it for your friend. Show your latest tweet. 1 second. I'll have to go grab it. Can you talk to me after stream? My voice is getting crushed, so I don't I don't know how much longer I'll be able to talk. One second. I can find. You didn't tag me in it, did you? Was it your... Okay, it's your pinned one. There we go. I'm gonna do this. It's not... Yeah, it's not your pinned one. This one. One second here. Oops. You reset the transform on that. There we go. So this, I have proof that she knew they were lying because I effing told her with proof the shit that Bella, K, Chrissy, and C said did to you really messed you up. And there's still people who know what happened and that you're still recovering from it. Your heart goes out to Quentin and Sam. Yeah, possibly tomorrow. Possibly tomorrow. There you go. There you go. That was the latest. That was the latest tweet. So yeah, just wait until December 16th. There is I'm guessing that that's the arraignment where Chrissy's going to be entering her plea. Whether not guilty or no contest, I'm going to be saying that she's probably going to be pleading no contest. She's likely going to be pleading no contest. Just a thought. Just a thought. But yeah, and folks, pleading a lesser charge doesn't mean that they're innocent, right? You would not be in that situation if you were innocent. At all. Period. And the fact that there are people out there, like our little clown crew, that really, really, really want us to stop talking about this. There's a reason, right? They want to be the only ones talking. They want to be the only ones sharing the narrative. They can't do that when they have pesky facts involved. Don't talk to these people. Don't engage with these people. It's useless engaging with these idiots. It's useless talking to them because they have already made up their mind. They are going to this is the hill they are going to die on. They're going to throw themselves in the firing line to save this criminal if it's the last goddamn thing they do. So the best thing you can do is laugh at them. The best thing you can do is show everybody else that they're fucking wrong. Don't let them just blast off without noise behind it. When they say something stupid, screen cap it and correct them. Don't at them. Don't reply to them. Don't quote tweet them. Because they do that so they could take advantage of the broken system on Twitter. So they can get you deleted off of Twitter. So they can censor you. So they can attack you. Don't give them that satisfaction. This is their entire identity. Literally, they're making accounts to do it. So, do your best. Don't engage them. Just correct them. We catch up sometime over the weekend? Probably. Again, like, folks, don't get me wrong here. Thank you so much for the $5. Toy Man. There we go. Thank you so much for the $5. Don't clown me around. Need to get one of those shot glasses. This is very true. This is very true. I have to double check actually if there's any sales going on Zazzle. Don't get me wrong, folks. It's not that I don't want to talk to anybody. It's not that I don't want to talk to people or I whatever else. I literally hate talking to people in general. I really, really don't do the social thing. And so, like, as I have to be social, I'm forced to be social, like, all the time at work. And so, like, when I'm at home and when I'm not streaming, I'm just blissfully, happily doing my own thing, not talking to anybody. And so it's not that I don't want to talk to anybody or I don't like you guys, because I do like you guys. You guys are amazing. I just really don't like talking beyond when I have to. It's nothing to do with you, strictly to do with me. I'm trying to log into my Zazzle here. Like, now, don't get me wrong. If you guys need someone to talk to, I'm always here for you. If you guys need somebody, or if you need someone to talk to, my merch link is the old link address. Oh, is it still the old one? Fuck's sake. Goddamn. 1 second. Here we go. This is the new merch link. I'm gonna pull this over here. I'm gonna finagle this around. There we go. It's oh shit, it's 40% off mugs. God damn. 15% off pretty much everything. 40% off like mugs and cozies. Let me see what else is here. Those be all the products. No, it's not that you're forcing me. I'm just explaining to you guys if you're like reaching out to talk to me, or what have you. It's not the page I wanted to look at. There's the store part. Yeah, the public storefront. Oh shit, there's matchboxes now. it's not that I don't want to talk to you guys. It's literally I'm just explaining to you guys where I'm at for that stuff. So 15% off the official glass. We have it's 40% off the fucking shot glass. Perfect time to get a shot glass, by the way. It is 40% off. You get yourself a nice little shot glass. I recently got a bottle cozy. You enjoy talking with me, but it's understanding. This is the thing. Like when I'm on stream, I'll talk to you guys. When I'm here, I'll talk to you guys. When I'm on stream, I'll talk to you guys. I have to really be in a mood to chat outside of it, like on Discord. Like I'll text with you guys all day, but like verbally talking, it's like I reserve that for streaming. That's the best I can do. 40% off the frosted beer mug. 40% off the beer cozy. Oh, is this back in stock now? Hold up. No, it's not in stock. That's sad. That's sad. No, you can't get the clowny stuff anymore, Toy Man. You can't get the clowny around stuff anymore. Because don't clowny around is apparently a terrorist symbol. It's the worst thing you could possibly have ever. So it's been ripped off of the internet. It's not allowed at all anywhere. Because it's worse than ISIS. according to some circles. Introvert energy with an extrovert brain. You have to be in the mood to talk? Absolutely. So yeah, check out the Canuckleheads store. The link is in description. Oh, you didn't hear Toy Man? Yeah. No, apparently the don't clowny around rainbow text is the worst, most heinous possible harassment ever. So I'm not allowed to have it anywhere, period. You know, tongue in cheek, but where's the secret storefront? I have to find a store that has balls. That won't bend a knee immediately to crybabies. No, you know why she got it taken down. You know why she got it taken down. It's the anarchist cookbook of logos. Exactly, she must identify as clowny. You want the secret menu? The reason it was taken down was because she wrote this ridiculously bullshit story about how I was attacking the fact that she lost her child and everything else like this, and that this rainbow text is directly targeted bullying, harassment at the fact that she lost her child, and blah 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 blah. Because, you know, I totally didn't just make a whole bunch of baby items for the sake of slapping logos on baby items. No, it's directly insulting her, right? No. Everything, and she calls me the narcissist, right? That's the funniest part. She calls me the narcissist. Meanwhile, everything that every piece of merchandise, obviously, I put out is 100% revolving around her. I'm dead serious. Toy Man. Yep, she wrote pretty much every storefront that I have and complained that it was targeted harassment against her because she lost a child, and I was making fun of the fact that she lost her child. She just appropriate the pride flag to represent her child. Pride and clowns, apparently. So, hey. I mean, I didn't do it. I just made funny merchandise. So, there you go. But, you know, here's the secret, Toy Man. Here's a funny secret, right? You guys, this isn't me, by the way. You guys, oh wow, the glass is completely sold out. You guys can go in here and edit this design. You can remove any of these, and you can add your own image. By the way, you can add your own images. So if by chance somehow you got a hold of the don't clowny around picture, I don't know how you would, but hey, if somehow you did, you could just remove the thing on the back of this, and then you can put your own "Don't Clown You Around" on top of it. So, just let's keep that secret between you and me. Let's keep that secret between you and me, though. You can add your own stuff. You can sell merchandise now? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Oh, no worries, Evan. No worries, Evan. Go for it. You have a whole gallery of stuff you could put on there? Exactly. So that's a nice boost. That's a nice bonus. If you like any of these designs, you can add stuff onto these designs or take things out. If you don't like certain things. So they're fully customizable. I've left them open. I haven't locked them down. You can go ahead and fully customize them as you see fit. You can put stuff on, and yeah, but just buy it through the store because there's great deals. Great deals. 40% off flask, 40% off the shot glass. All this wonderful stuff. So do it. This may have to be edited out for a reason. There you go. Check out the Canuckleheads store. You can buy all sorts of really good stuff. It's all very high quality things. Very, very much worth the price. I highly, highly recommend it. I've purchased like most of the stuff on here. I purchased this. I purchased this one. I purchased this. I purchased that one. I wish I could get the Zippo. I can't because I'm in Canada and they don't deliver to Canada. I'm still waiting on my bottle opener. I have the tote bag. I have the flip-flops. I have the cozy. I really should get myself a mug. I have the shoes. The shoes are amazing. Put her screenshot on a lunchbox? I mean, I could. That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. But there you go. Too many lies, too many clowns. But there you have it, folks. That is about all I have for you today. I really hoped that you enjoyed it. You want the shower curtain, but you have a Black Butler's Undertaker as one, so you're conflicted. You just have both. You just have one on the inside, one on the outside. There you go. But thank you guys so much for hanging in today. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you being here and having a nice full show. Talked about a lot of stuff today. Put a lot of people on blast. So, but smash that like button. Be sure to hit the notification bell if you enjoy this type of stuff. You can even join the channel. You can get the set of emotes. This wonderful little set of emotes here too. You can put a picture of you lifting Vic on a lunchbox. You can get this set of emotes if you join the channel. If you want to do that. I can't wait for the flailing either. It's going to be phenomenal. But December 16th, keep an eye out for that. That is likely the arraignment date. That is likely the day where Chrissy's going to be pleading guilty or otherwise. Like not guilty or otherwise. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. And we'll probably be back next week. Unless something untoward happens. But keep an eye on me at DarksideEvie. My backup account at Crumbrion on Twitter, just in case. But thank you guys so much. As always, keep your stick on the ice. And have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.